Okay, Wendy, the recording is in process. It is football season, Wendy.
It is football season.
It is football season in the South. The year is 2023. It is August 31st. Wendy, we're back.
Trey, we're back. Bama's back too. Bama's back. The whole SEC is back, and I'm pumped. I'm pumped about football this year.
We're back. So obviously, if you hadn't been on there, you hadn't listened to it before. I'm Trey. This is my sister Wendy. So we get on here. We try to get on here once a week and try to talk about college football. It's the best time of year, no doubt. Wendy, last weekend it was 165 degrees. We do this from Birmingham. I do this from Birmingham, Alabama. Wendy does this from Knoxville, Tennessee.
That's right.
Up in Rocky Top. Wendy, tell me what's been going on since, the video that we did that kind of blew up was Wendy was not ready for Georgia to be the king of college football. Wendy, have you calmed down and have you accepted that Georgia is the king of college football?
They're not the king just because they won 2 in a row, especially considering the last year's game. I mean, that was just a terrible game. Nobody enjoyed it. But let me just tell you this. Georgia is not the king of college football. Okay. They're not the king. Tell me a game they played this year that's going to make anything hard for them. None, zero. And I don't want to hear they make the schedule 25 years in advance, blah, blah, blah. And none of that matters to me, Trey. What I'm trying to tell you is Alabama is still the premier team in college football. And they will be until Georgia gets a schedule. I hope I see them this year.
Well, listen, I mean, their schedule is lackluster this year. Wendy, right now they are. They didn't get beat last year. There's no sign of them turning down. Now they are starting a new quarterback, which Alabama's starting a new quarterback. We're going to get into that. Yes. Wendy, is there anything else you want to get into before we get into this week's games? No. We have a few good games. How's Mommy B doing? How's everybody doing up there? What's going on?
Mommy B, great. Bob, great. Got a new puppy over the summer. He's the cutest, stinkingest little thing. His name is Baby Duke, and he's a German Shepherd, and he's the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life. Maylee started her senior year. Christopher started his sophomore year. Everybody in Knoxville's blowing and going, and we're doing great up here.
Yeah, well, good. Wendy, listen, let's talk about Tennessee real quick. Just Tennessee, I was looking. They're playing Virginia this week. And, a good little test for Tennessee and this new quarterback. Let's see what happens. I mean, Saturday morning when you wake up, you're pretty much going to get Tennessee, Virginia. What do you think? What's the Vol Nation saying up there?
So everybody's really excited, obviously, coming off their big year of beating Alabama. So, I mean, that's, basically their big hoorah. This kid can throw it a country mile. I'm going to tell you this kid can throw it, but he can throw some interceptions. I just want to see if the guy's grown, if their quarterback has grown, being the backup to Hooker, right? So he was the backup for Hooker. He hopefully learned some things, but Trey, this quarterback's good. I just don't know what he's got around him, man. I don't know if their line's as good as they're going to want it to be. I don't see Tennessee winning. I mean, I'm going to tell you, I think the Virginia game is going to be tougher on them than you think. I think it's going to be a closer game than Tennessee fans want it to be. That's what I think.
Yeah, and I mean, I think looking at this, I mean, it's actually a decent game, and it goes off at 12 o'clock Eastern, so we're going to at least watch some decent football, and I'm sure Vol Nation up there is ready to explode, looking for a big year. Listen, what's this guy's name from Tennessee again? What's his name?
It's Milton.
No.
Right, that's our guy. No. Hold on. Listen, we're not prepared. We talk about this every year.
I told you to write down stuff. Listen, the quarterback from Tennessee, he's been the backup for 2 years, and now he's got to be the man. And I've always said it before. There's some guys that are really good coming off the bench when they're not the man. Well, he is the man this year. Maybe Heupel's got him ready. And I think, Wendy, the whole season is going to come down to how good is this quarterback. And can the defensive secondary even come up and step up and try to make the plays? Tennessee's ready to rock and roll. Wendy, we'll just go down the schedule here. I can't even mention some of these things because they're not playing anybody. We do have to go over the Auburn football Tigers. Yeah. Wendy, the Auburn football Tigers, I mean, it is
– they're playing UMass.
Yeah, but Auburn's still Auburn. Hugh Freeze
Yeah.
is coming in, and they're talking about a freeze warning and all this other stuff. Wendy, what do you think about the Auburn football Tigers? I mean, are they going to be the football Tigers, or are they going to be the swim and dive unit?
Listen, Trey, I like Hugh Freeze. I think Hugh Freeze is a good coach. I mean, I understand everybody's got some issues with him from back in the day. I don't necessarily dislike Hugh Freeze. I think Hugh Freeze can put a team together. I do not think it's going to be this year. Like, I don't see Auburn coming together this year. Does that mean I don't see it? I don't see it. Honestly, Trey, have not heard one thing about Auburn all season. Not all season, except for jokes about Hugh Freeze.
Yeah, listen.
I can't repeat them either.
Well, at least there's some new blood down there. I mean, the Harsin thing was such a disaster. At least we've got some new blood down there, and at least it's going to be exciting because look, dude, all I want to do is I want to wake up on Saturday. I want a good 12 o'clock game. I want a good 2:30 game, and I want a good 6 o'clock game. If that can happen, that's better. And when Auburn's playing halfway decent, it's a lot more fun to watch. And we'll see
as an
what
Alabama fan, I just want them to lose. Like, I don't want Auburn to win. But let me say this. I say that, but then I don't want Auburn to be bad. I don't really want Auburn to be bad. Yeah. Like, does that make – I know I confuse people. I want Auburn to lose, but I don't want Auburn to be bad. I don't know how to explain it.
Wendy, I know what you're trying to say.
I hope you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, you hope Auburn wins most of their games. Right. Alabama beats them. And
like bad.
Yeah. Yeah,
and then we go to the
That's what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. That's right.
That's what you're saying. Wendy, let's get to the Alabama Crimson Tide. I mean, Alabama, we're Alabama fans. We like to watch Alabama, even though there's a lot more diehard fans than Alabama fans than we are. But Alabama goes off at 6:30. They're playing MTSU. That's actually where Jason Rockhill graduated from. What's up, Rockhill?
What's up, Rockhill?
He's bumping and grinding in Nashville right now.
Right.
So Alabama's coming out. Everybody wants to know about the quarterback, Wendy. I don't really think it matters who the quarterback is. We were talking about Milroe. That's probably who they're going to play if I had to guess. Once again, Alabama. Everybody thinks Alabama's going to be good. We trust Saban that he's going to put a good team out there.
Yes.
But you don't know until you get out there, and at 6:30 it's going to happen against MTSU. What's up, Wendy?
Well, I don't even know, like, being up here in Knoxville, obviously I'm in a one-state fan base, so everybody here roots for Tennessee. I don't get to hear a lot about, like, on the radio, sports radio, about Alabama. Who are our receivers? Who are our running backs? Like, who are the people? Like, I don't know who the actual people are. So, I mean, I guess it's like a whole new roster that I'm going to have to figure out because, Trey, I'm being honest with you. I don't know what's going on with the quarterback situation, but here's what I do know. I believe whenever we're ranked 4th, they've got us at 4, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, see, I like it. I've got a feeling we're going to be the sleeper team. I think we're going to be better than we've been in years. I just think he didn't let go of that depth chart. Remember, Saban, refused to put that out. All the other coaches have. Saban was like, no, I'm not going to put it out. So without having the depth chart, I don't really even know what we're looking at as a fan, but I believe we're the sleeper team of the nation. I believe we're gonna kill it.
Wendy, it's hard to say Alabama's going to be a sleeper team. I mean, everybody knows
ranked us
Alabama.
At 4.
Well, I mean, still, but everybody knows we've got players. And it all comes down to how well can these players gel, how well can they pick up the schemes. And every team's a little bit different. And I think that's what's exciting. I don't know a ton about the players either. And it's almost like that's what I like about going to the game. I think we're actually going to the game on Saturday is to see who steps up, to see who plays well, to see, kind of these kids develop and what's going to happen. Not going to get much of a test here at MTSU, probably. Yeah. It'll probably be a decent game, but everybody's looking forward to the Texas game.
Texas game.
That's the game coming up. So let's get.
So once again, though, let's remind anybody that actually views this. We came completely unprepared. We don't even really know who our own players are. So there's that.
Wendy, I gave you several tasks as I'm down here selling insurance. I gave you several tasks. And how many did you complete, Wendy?
0, because I don't like to be bossed around. 0. 0. I got 0 tasks.
0. You want to open up your computer and go live.
That's what I want to do because honestly, Trey, that to me is more fun, but it probably would have been good to know some of the quarterbacks' names on my end, but I failed the task.
Well, everybody knows who you're talking about if you're watching Alabama football. Wendy, let's talk about Georgia. You got to talk about Georgia. They're the best team in the country. We did speak about them earlier in this deal, but Georgia, play some cupcake games, whatever. Can Georgia do it again? Can they run the table again? Yes or no?
Yes. Look at who they play. Let's just try UT Martin, Ball State, South Carolina, UAB, Auburn, at Auburn, which that might help us because they got witchy woo on that field. Kentucky, Vanderbilt, Florida, which they have an off week before they play Florida, Missouri, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Georgia Tech. I mean, but here's the thing. I love Kirby Smart. I really do I've always loved Kirby Smart. I love Kirby Smart. It's really easy to win ball games when everybody stays healthy, Trey. It's real easy to make a really good run of it in a college football playoff when your second string is in after 3 minutes of the game starting. Like when you can keep everybody healthy, Trey, it's real easy to make that run. See, everybody wants to look at it just, well, they're not playing anybody. They're also not getting hurt. That's what you don't understand. It's Clemson 2.0. That's all it is. If they have a schedule, then I'll be able to talk about Georgia being the best in the country. They don't have a schedule. They don't play anybody. That's my personal opinion. So no, Georgia's not the premier team in college football. You're not going to sell me on it, is what I'm telling you.
You think Georgia is Clemson 2.0?
Yes. And I will say that for the world to hear it. Because remember when Clemson kept getting in, they didn't play anybody? This is the same thing. If you want to be considered, to me, top tier, where's your LSU? Oh, you don't have one. Where's your A&M?
Yeah, but they can't. But Wendy, hold tight now. Hold tight. They can't determine who they play in the SEC. It's more they don't get to pick their SEC schedule, Wendy.
Well,
they don't get to pick they get to pick their non-conference schedule, which typically they've been picking harder teams, and typically you see Alabama pick harder teams, and everybody wants to say they were supposed to play Oklahoma, but they kind of canceled that game due to Oklahoma coming in the conference, whatever it was. Right. Okay, that's fine. Winnie, they can only play who they have to play. If they do make it all the way through, they will have to play Tennessee. They would have to play in an SEC championship game and win 2 playoff games. So at least they're going to play 4 or 5 games. They will get tested.
Okay, but I will be interested to see as this goes on every week if Auburn is ranked, Kentucky, Vanderbilt, which Vanderbilt's winning the SEC right now, by the way, if you're a Vanderbilt fan. Florida, if they're ranked, Missouri, Ole Miss, or Tennessee, if they're ranked by the time they get to them. By the time they get to them. I don't know if they'll even end up playing anybody that's ranked, Trey. So it's going to irritate me if you've got a team like, okay, let's look at Alabama. We've got Texas, second game of the season. Texas. I've got Texas A&M. I've got Tennessee. I've got LSU. I've got Auburn, which Auburn's just always a toss-up with Alabama Auburn. I'm just telling you, Trey, Georgia fans, listen, you've got a great team. I'm not bashing your team. I'm not saying you don't have great players. I'm just telling you don't play anybody. And none of your guys are going to be hurt. So we're moving on past Georgia. I ain't got nothing to say about it.
As we continue, Wendy, we're going to try to wrap this thing up, get into week 1. Hope everybody has a good time out there. Wendy, let's go over Florida. Florida plays tonight. I think we're going to try to put this out on Thursday. So Florida plays tonight. Florida plays Utah at Utah tonight. It's Thursday when we're doing this. Wendy, what's going to happen? Can Florida – now, here's the deal with Florida. Utah love the matchup. Utah's supposed to be pretty good. They're supposed to have a good home field advantage. Florida's going out there. And Florida, they're the Gators, right?
Right.
So Gators stay underwater. You could be looking at a nice, peaceful river, and there could be Gators under there, right?
Right.
So there's Gators under there. You don't see anything out there. Well, tonight, the Gators will have to surface.
Right.
The Gators will have to surface tonight. There's no more lurking under the water. You don't hear much from the Georgia people. The Florida people, excuse me. You don't hear much from the Florida people. You don't hear much about what their team looks like, what they're going to be, who they're going to be. Everything's real hush-hush.
Yeah.
But, Wendy, the Gators will have to come out of the water tonight.
Yep.
Wendy, can the Gators beat Utah, yes or no?
I absolutely believe that they will. What is it, Napier? Is it Napier that's over there that I like?
Napier.
So it's his second year, I think?
Second year.
Yeah, Napier's a really good coach. I'll be interested to see who their quarterback is and what their quarterback can do compared to last year's quarterback. But Trey, Florida's going to be fine this year. They're not going to beat everybody, but I think they're going to beat Utah. And not to say that Utah can't come out and figure out a way to do it. Trey, I'm always going to go to conditioning. If they keep it close, people can't hang with the SEC in the fourth quarter, man. They just can't do it.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
All right, Wendy, we're going to get to – let's do LSU Florida State. So LSU Florida State is one of the other big games. It goes on Monday night. Everybody will be watching that after they're eating barbecue. LSU Florida State, probably one of the biggest games in the nation. Wendy, what's going to happen? Does LSU continue this role, or does LSU take a step back? You know, everybody says Florida State's going to be good. Everybody says Florida State's going to be good for the past 15 years. Oh, look out for them this year. Look out for them this year. Look out for them this year. You know, LSU's going to come in, and Brian Kelly's got his team ready. Wendy, can LSU continue the role that they were on last year, yes or no? Now they lost several games late last year, but can they get it back going and get cranked up early? Wendy, who wins the LSU Florida State game?
So first off, it's not Monday, it's on Sunday. It's on Sunday. You said Monday.
It is Monday.
No, Sunday, September 3rd. I think.
Well, who plays on Monday?
I don't know who plays on Monday.
Monday's the Clemson game. Monday's the Clemson game. Thank you. Okay, so
welcome.
This is Sunday night. Okay, so I would actually
Sunday night.
Game.
So here's the deal. I'm with Trey. Florida State's supposed to be good for the last 28, 30 years. They're not good. They've not been good. We're on the second year of Brian Kelly. The only thing he did last year was beat Alabama off some bad coaching calls on our end. But here's the deal. No. Let me say this. I don't think LSU is going to be as good as they were last year. I really don't see it. I don't see it. But I do believe they can beat Florida State because I believe Florida State's overhyped every single solitary year. They're overhyped every year. And they have not lived up to it, just like Texas A&M. They get overhyped and they can't do anything. But I think it'll be a good game early.
Good game early, Wendy. Yeah, I apologize about that. And they just had a hurricane go down there. So,
that's what I was about to say.
It's a wild season. Wendy, last but not least, we're going to get into it with the best team in the country, Wendy's favorite team.
South Carolina. You hate it. I love it. Listen, I love South Carolina. I don't know why Trey hates talking about South Carolina, but South Carolina, North Carolina, that's a good game. That's a good first week game. As far as I'm concerned, as a Saturday game, that's the best game on Saturday as far as competition goes. But let me explain to everybody, they've got this quarterback. He, to me, should be the best quarterback in the league. I believe that. He's been playing quarterback for 15 years.
Yeah, South Carolina is basically trending upwards. I mean, South Carolina ripped through the end part of their schedule last year with some massive wins. You know, can they keep the ball rolling? It seems like Beamer's got a really good niche at South Carolina, and the South Carolina-North Carolina is going to be a great game. Wendy, South Carolina beats North Carolina. If they do, that really could get their ball rolling to have a really big season for South Carolina.
Yep. And the thing about, what I like about South Carolina anyway – is I'm going back to they're building that program slowly. Everybody's giving that coach time, not a lot of pressure. Same thing happened with Kentucky. You know what I mean? I just like it when I see schools give coaches times to actually build a program, build it up to make it be able to compete. But when you've got a quarterback like this guy, number one quarterback years ago coming out, remember out of high school?
Yeah, sure.
He's a good quarterback. It's just were they able to get enough weapons around him to help him? You know what I mean? Yeah. Can their offense hold off some of these LSU, Alabama type defense? You know what I mean? Are they going to be able to do that? Is really the big question on South Carolina this year.
Yeah.
Well, I'm pulling for South Carolina.
Yeah, I'm going to be pulling for South Carolina, of course, or playing North Carolina. That will be a good game. Wendy, what do you have planned for this weekend? I'm thinking, let me tell you what I'm going to do. I got to work today and tomorrow. I think we're going to go to the Alabama game on Saturday, see what they got. And then we're going to Sunday. I'm not sure what we're going to do, but I got to get the grill going. I'm thinking about doing some wings. That's what I've got going on. Wendy, what do you have going on? Tell me.
So Saturday will be low key because Mom just got over being sick, so she's just going to take it easy until the Texas game. So Trey, it'll really just be me. I watching the games all day, just being pumped and watching the games. It'll be a low key weekend. I've got a little bit of sinus stuff going on. I'm not feeling 100% either. So probably really low key to really get crunked up for the following weekend because
we're going to get crunked up for the following weekend. Wendy, we're going to jump off here. What's up to everybody out there that typically watches and texts? We'll get the text threads going. Chris Arnold, I'm looking for you to get the text threads going for sure. Barry's lurking down there at the beach.
Oh, yeah.
We got Rock Hill in Nashville. We got Ray. We got everybody. We got your group that's going to start texting. Let's get it cranked up.
Yep.
Leave a comment. We're going to put this on YouTube and I'm going to figure out a way to put it on our podcast. So anyway, y'all have a good week. Have fun, Wendy. I love you.
All right. Roll Tide. Love you.
All right. Bye.